We'll ask that you be shown a statement that you gave to the investigators today, the 15th of January 2025.
Yes.
Please go through the statement and advise us whether that is the statement that you gave to the investigators today.
Yes, this is the statement.
We tender the statement of the witness, Salama and Njie. The date is 15th of January 2025 into evidence as an exhibit.
The additional witness statement dated the 15th of January 2025 is hereby admitted in evidence and it is marked as
Statement that I made.
LGC/SN in brackets 1/KMC/003.
It was yesterday. This statement.
Ask the commission, please.
Use the microphone and also ask question.
All right, Council, can I ask, please? The statement that you asked me to adjust, I attached minutes there. Maybe if you can help me have that.
Yes.
Yesterday, that of yesterday.
Minutes of General Council meeting, 28th of June 2018?
Yes.
Yes, I have a copy.
Okay.
Now, in your statement, you were discussing the appointment of Fal and 5 others, including Nuruddin Adams.
Yes.
Do you recall this?
Yes.
At this time, you were the acting CEO
Yes.
of Carnival Municipal Council
Yes.
when these appointments were made.
Yes.
What can you tell the commission about what you know about these appointments?
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, I was in my office when Councillor Habib Sise, the chairperson of the Establishment and Appointment Committee, walked in, holding a paper in his hand. And he then told me that he wanted me to convey an Establishment and Appointment Committee meeting, emergency one. Then I asked him what was the agenda. Then he handed over the paper that he was holding to me to read, and even asked further whether I've not seen that memo before. I said, no, I'm just seeing it for the first time because I was not copied. If you may allow me, I keenly followed Habib's testimony. And I had him say, I think it was at the level of the investigators, where he stated that the mayor gave him a memo, and again, the mayor was part of that meeting. Then later, he sat down here and denied it and said that he wanted to change that part of the write-up.
Yes.
I want to state here that the second part was not factual. It was the narrative that he gave at the level of the investigators. That was the correct one. Because, as I said, Habib walked into my office and handed over the memo to me to read when he requested for that meeting. Under normal circumstances, when meetings are being requested, my opinion is not asked. Normally they go through the council, the clerk of council. But hence it has something to do with personnel. You know, they have to come to me to check for my availability. And normally also contracts committee meetings, I am always consulted. So Habib asked he want to have this emergency council meeting, establishment and appointment committee meeting. I said, okay, that's fine. Please allow me to talk to the clerk. When I called the clerk, by then it coincided with the setting up of the various council committee meetings. I think they have over 10 or 15 of them. So when I called the clerk in the presence of Habib, the clerk said that he was busy, he will be busy that day. So Habib then asked me whether I can make the HR manager to be available. Then I said that shouldn't be a problem. I can always make the HR manager available. And again, I was surprised when Habib said here that I was the one authorizing the other managers to be taking the minutes of subcommittee that is contravening the standing orders. That was not true. As I said, when we called the clerk, he said that he was busy because at the time, the clerk was the only professional in his office. You know, he was always very busy with general council or committee meetings, so he was overwhelmed. It was at that juncture that Habib said that why not going forward, we have the HR manager to be taking our minutes because he is an expert and he'll be able to even give us expert advice. That's when Demboja started taking the minutes, and when the finance committee realized that it worked for establishment, they also asked that why not I make the finance manager also to be taking that minute, likewise the environment. That was how that thing happened. So now, after Habib, then I said, well, Dembo will be made available for the meeting. And then Habib pulled out a paper, a pen from his bag, and start linking each of those names that were listed on the memo, how they were linked to the mail. I told Habib that, well, what you are saying is news to me. I've never seen or known these people before. And then Habib told me that, you know what? I'm going to confront the mayor right away. I said, Habib, if I were you, why can't you wait until tomorrow? Since there's going to be a meeting, you can share your thoughts here. Because right now, you are very angry. And if you go there, it might be messy. He just walked out of my office. 5 minutes after Habib left my office, I heard loud voices coming from the mayor's office. I then locked my door and went there to see what was going on. To my surprise, it was Habib. I found the mayor seated right there on his seat. Habib was right there, yelling at the mayor, pointing at him, telling him that there is no way that they were going to accept the memo and the appointments because they were based on nepotism and favoritism, and if the mayor was going to bring his people, they were also going to bring their people. I remembered being joined by my deputy Dembo, Bakari Jawo, the then director of admin also, Jaja Cham, also joined me at the mayor's office. If I could vividly remember, either Lamin Jame, Councillor, or Peter was also there. I remembered Habib being escorted out of the mayor's office to reduce the tension. But it seems that even further compounded the issue because Habib stood right there in the middle of the council, yelling, talking to anyone who cares to listen. You know, when I realized that staffs were beginning to assemble, I then asked my deputy for us to go out and then convince Habib to come back because it was getting messy. To be honest, it was a very ugly scene, and I want to state here that throughout my over 20 years career, I've never witnessed such a thing. So we were able to convince Habib to come back to the mayor's office. There, the councillors who were present asked that all the staff should go back to their office and they want to meet as councillors. That was how I left with my other colleagues to my office. What transpired at that meeting, I did not know. So the following day, the meeting that Habib came to my office for was convened at the mayor's chambers. Present at that meeting were Habib himself as the chairperson, Demboja as the secretary, myself as an ex-officio member, Maria de Costa was a member, Yasin Senghor, the legal advisor to the council, was a member, Modu Gay, HR expert was a member, Lamin Jame, councillor was a member, he was present, and Peter Mendy too was right there. We were there. Habib removed that memo that he came to my office with. He read out the minutes, the memo in front of all of these people that I have mentioned, and said that in fact we have only one agenda, and that agenda was that memo that mayor gave to him. So we started deliberating on the letter. Initially, I want to state here that it was a very tense debate because, as I said, almost all the people that I mentioned here are professionals in their own right. Yes, the issue of Aisha Fall came in, yes. I vividly remember being discussed about. So now, at that juncture, you know, Habib also mentioned that the mayor attended the meeting. It was at that juncture when we could not reach conclusion that we invited the mayor, because as I said, we had the meeting right at the mayor's office, at his chamber, so we invited him to join. In fact, when the mayor joined, I also raised another issue. So in fact, I am surprised that both the administration and the office of the clerk could not trace the minutes, because I requested from both of them, but they said that they couldn't access the files. So at that meeting, do
you believe that?
Well, it's interesting anyway.
Very well.
So now, the mayor was invited to join. He was there, right there. And one of the issues that I raised, apart from Isa has not been, you know, academically fit for the position.
Yes.
There was this issue of addition, the new addition, because the position of the driver wasn't vacant, the position of the cleaner wasn't vacant, because the then mayor already had cleaner and a driver.
You mean these two positions were not vacant?
They weren't vacant. So as the CEO and the chief spending officer, that was my concern, because it was already the second quarter of the year, right around June. So I was definitely worried which boat were they going to be paid from. I raised it. So as I said, the mayor was right seated, and then they asked, the members of the meeting asked for him to justify why he thinks that those people will be this thing.
Yes.
And I want to quote verbatim from what mayor said.
Yes.
The mayor said that I am an elected official, and it is a norm all over that when people are elected to such position, they come with their own team. And for this theme, I have trust and confidence in them because I've worked with them before. So now, for Aisha, I will ask her to further her education, and I want to assure you members of this meeting that when my tenure ends and I'm leaving, I'm going with these people. It was because of that, maybe that's why the committee was convinced and said that now, why not we move this to the General Council? That was when the matter, they recommended, and the matter was referred to the General Council. And I had Abib here, sat here and said something. To be honest, one thing I found disturbing is that you just cannot come here, swear to an oath, and then say something that is completely opposite the truth. And that is exactly what Habib did. When he said that, I was the one who unilaterally appointed those people, and he never took part. That General Council meeting minutes that I attached there was on the 28th of June.
Yes.
Normally at council, when subcommittee have their meetings, it is the chairperson of those committees who report back to council the outcome of their meetings. So at this meeting, where the mayor was present, all council members were present, including myself and directors, it was Habib. You see, on page 8, the area I highlighted green,
yes,
it was Habib reporting to the General Council that his committee met and appointed these people. So the question I want to ask is, if he hadn't participated in this process at all, why was it that he was the one who went there and reported? That's it.
Thank you. So let me have that document, and we will have it admitted. If it is admitted, then we can discuss it. We apply to tender the General Council meeting minutes of the 28th of June 2018. The time is 10:30 a.m. in evidence as an exhibit in relation to this matter.
Can I say something?
Let's just wait until it is admitted,
Okay.
and then you may proceed.
The General Council meeting minutes dated the 28th of June 2018 is hereby admitted in evidence, and it's marked as LGC/SN/1/KMC/004.
As the commission pleases. Yes, you may proceed.
Yes.
What you want to say?
I was following their testimonies keenly, and I also had Demboja said that there was an interview which he solely conducted. I want to say that was not true, because Dembo cannot organize an interview without being told by the CEO. That wasn't true.
Absolutely. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yes,
at all.
and I agree with you.
Yeah.
We will show you or return the minutes to you, and you may read the relevant portion highlighted on page 8 of the minutes of the meetings, as you have stated.
It's on page 8, and then the subtitle is Establishment and Appointment Committee Report. The chairman informed members of the appointment of a public affairs manager, a religion and culture manager, religion and culture officer, a protocol. The chairman said he said these were vacant positions that needed to be filled. The chairman, before concluding, announced the resignation of the public relations officer. This is the chairman.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, was there a position of a public relations manager before the appointment of Aisha Fall?
Yes, there was one.
Manager or officer?
Manager.
Manager.
Yes.
Who was the public relations manager?
The CEO I succeeded, Pa Khalifa, was once a manager, and yes, Pa Khalifa was once a manager of public affairs. Yes.
Do you know the period?
Well, I don't know. I was there with him.
Now, was there a public relations officer at the time?
Yes, Fatimata Silla. The PRO, it's PRO and public relations officer.
Do you recall her qualification? Because in the same minutes of meeting, it is indicated that the chairman, before concluding, announced the resignation of the public relations officer.
Fatimata Silla.
Do you know her qualification at the time?
No, I cannot recall.
You can't recall.
Yeah.
Very well. Do you want to add anything else?
Regarding the appointment?
Yes.
Yes, this is how it went, and as I said, all these people that I named can testify they were present.
Yes, and all these people are from the mayor's camp. There is one individual that is said to be the uncle of the mayor. Do you recall who the person was?
I got to know that through Habib, because as I said, when he came to my office,
yes,
he just pulled out the pen and started linking how each of them, how Aisha was a staff to mayor, how the driver was staff, how this one was the uncle.
Yes.
I told Habib, well, all these things that you are saying, it seems that he did his investigations before coming to my office.
On page 2 of your statement, you said, the second line, I responded no. He further asked whether I knew, that is Habib, whether I knew that Babakar Jame, being recommended for the culture and region manager, was the mayor's uncle and blood sister to the then rates manager, Miss Adam Jame. And I responded no. Again, he asked whether I knew that the cleaner recommended is the mayor's mother's house help.
Yes, that's
And I
what he
said
told.
no. So you were trying to state that all of these people were individuals that were working directly with the mayor or his family.
Yes, according to Habib.
According to Habib.
According to
And
Habib.
that was the issue. And
Why
so-
he went and confronted him.
Yes.
Yes.
And the issue was that if you can do the same, then we as councillors as well should have the right to bring in our own people.
Exactly, these are words of Habib.
Yes. On page 3 of your statement, you had mentioned the individuals that were present in the establishment committee's meeting.
Yes.
First, you have lawyer Yasin Senghor as a legal advisor. Why was she present?
She was a member. She was a member of the committee.
But she's also the outside counsel, the retained counsel.
Well, she was a member of the committee.
Yes, but is there any reason how did she become a member of the committee? Do you know how she was appointed as a member of the committee?
As a member of the committee. It came through the mayor.
Through the mayor.
Yeah.
Right. And is she a member of all committees or many of the committees during the time you have served, or is it only the establishment committee you can recall?
I can only recall the
Establishment
establishment
committee.
committee.
Is there any other lawyer that you have worked with, apart from Yasin Senghor, when you were the acting CEO before your resignation?
No.
No.
I can't recall.
The other issue is Mustafa Kani, also known as Kanjura Kani, correct? Do you know how he was appointed?
Actually, when I was there,
Yes.
he served as the advisor to the mayor.
Yes.
That was, but later on, the recommendation came for him to head one of the departments. I rejected, I disapproved it because Kanjura was not academic qualified and he was above the retirement age.
I mean, he was not academic qualified for any job.
He wasn't qualified, so I said there's no way that he can just assume that position.
But then what happened?
Yes.
But then
He retained the advisor. Until I left, he retained the advisor position.
The advisor. And what were the issues with Kan Mustafa Kani?
What are the issues?
On page 5, let me read. It said on the issue of voluntary retirement at KMC after 13 years of service at the council, I went to voluntary retirement on marital grounds despite being just 41 years old. However, there were several maladministration issues within the council at the time that forced me to opt for proceeding on the voluntary retirement, which include the continuous interference of Mr. Kan Mustafa Kani in my administrative responsibilities without the Lord Mayor doing anything about the issue. I remember that Mr. Kani submitted a request claiming for a refund of $100,000 in pre-financing the damaged shockaway of Old Joshua Market, which I rejected. He then started cursing me and told me right in my face that he will make sure that I will never be confirmed as CEO. There were instances that he will be issued with warning letters because of his excess. He will shred the letter right in my face and the mayor will not say anything to him. What are you trying to explain in this circumstance?
Yes, I want to state here that yes, I went on retirement on marital grounds, but again, I want to believe that the issue of Kanjura was, I wasn't up to retirement. I was just 41, as I said. I had like 19 more years to go. But Kanjura issue was the long-term factor of me leaving KMC. In fact, the one that I stated here was the last issue that I had with him, because up to the time I left council, he was not talking to me. He was not coming to my office. One day, he stepped to in my office. It was like on a Monday. He brought in the request for refund. It was like over hundreds of thousands of dollars that he pre-financed it. It was like fixing the old Joshua markets Sockaway.
Who asked him to do that?
That's what I told him, that as far as I know, I am the chief spending officer.
Absolutely.
And if you are to carry out such a work, I should be the one to authorize you.
Absolutely.
But as far as I know, I never authorize you. That is one. Two, why do you have to outsource this work when there is a capacity within? Because we have a Department of Planning and Development.
Yes.
They're responsible for the minor works and construction. So now, those people, by the time I left, they were about 20 to 30 staff. They have been paid on a monthly basis. I then asked Kanjura, why do you have to pay a mezzanine $40,000 outsourcing the work when we have the capacity? And you want me to pay this? I'm not going to pay it. And again, you went further to buy cement and all those building materials when we have a procurement unit. So I'm not going to accept this on no account. And he told me right in my face that you are just getting too much. I will make sure that I will do everything within my means to make sure that you will never be confirmed as the CEO of this institution. Then I went and reported him to the mayor. The mayor called his attention, and he said exactly what he told me. He, in fact, told the mayor that I am up to sabotaging. And I told mayor that what Kanjura is saying is not true. Why would I want to sabotage a council that gives me my daily bread? In fact, when I graduated from UK, many people convinced me not to go back to council because there is no way I was going to change the system. But I said that if we all have that belief that there can't be no good person here, then it wouldn't work.
Absolutely.
So I have to stay. I said that is why I stayed. And I told the mayor that before he came, I worked directly under 4 mayors, right? Abdoulaye Conte, I worked directly under him. I worked under Francis Gomez. I worked under Aliou Momar Njie. I worked under Bakary Kejame. And I told the mayor that I have high rating from all of them. In fact, up to now, when I want to apply for for other opportunities, references, they serve as references. And Bakary Kejame, during the inauguration of mayor, Bakary said in front of everyone, the whole world, when Talib was inaugurated, he told Talib that if you give Salama the support, all the support that he needs, I'm quite sure you will be successful. Because I have worked with Salama, and Salama is super good. I told the mayor that all these 4 mayors cannot lie. I have the interest of this institution at heart. I have worked here for 13 good years with honesty, with sincerity. And the over 1,000 staff of the Kanifing Municipal Council, if they talk between them and their God, knew very well that I stood for what was right. So what Kanjura is saying is not true. I'm not here to sabotage you, right? That was how I left.
And so what did the mayor do?
Huh?
What did the mayor do?
When it comes to Kanjura, it seems that the mayor had a soft spot for Kanjura.
It seems Kanjura is untouchable.
Yeah, because every other person, if they do wrong, he would want them to be punished. But
it's
for
even worrying.
Kanjura,
It's even worrying for any public servant to go all that extent to be struggling to prove that they are not up to sabotage. Mm-hmm. You understand that? It is even worrying. But my point is, you don't even have to go through all that.
And
because when we appoint public servants, they are guided by a code of conduct.
But lead counsel, what I want to add here is that now it is very clear who was sabotaging, me or Kanjura, because I've been following these hearings keenly. And I've had Kanjora testimony, other staff relating to Kanjora's testimony. Millions and millions of taxpayers' money goes into the drain because of one person who thought that he was untouchable.
Just to conclude on Kanjora's issue, Kanjora was not only sabotaging, maybe we don't have evidence of that. Kanjora is incompetent and should not be where he was at the time. That is what I know. He's seriously misplaced.
But he made the mayor to believe that I was sabotaging him.
Yes, I understand that point. That's why I said that public servants should not be struggling to prove that they are not sabotaging. The issue is you are guided by a set of rules and regulations, which if they are followed, your opinion, your private opinion doesn't matter. Do you understand that? You don't have to like the people you work with.
And I want to add, Council, to be honest, when my predecessor was sent on administrative leave, I wasn't the only manager, but there was a reason why I was identified amongst those managers to serve as the acting CEO because of my track record as the Director of Services. For the first time as the Director of Services, I produced, in collaboration with the Community Development Office at Council, the first ever Council strategic plan. That was not enough. I went around the whole municipality, all the toilets that were in very bad shape, we reconstructed all of them. I worked keenly with, by Ibrahim Cham of Gumworks. Again, the cleansing service, almost 400 of them, I advocated for them through Mayor Scully's tenure that their salary should be increased. And you know, the day the salary was increased, the 400 of them danced all the way from the annex to my office. They came and, you know, carried me up like that.
Yes, yes.
So the thing is, I wanted to sustain those gains.
In as much as I want to hear you go on
yes,
with some of the things you've done, I've always maintained that maybe that's not as applicable as it may be. Probably let me just ask you about some of the things that are in relation to the investigation. Now, the finances of council, as acting CEO, you are answerable to council. Now, the law requires that the CEO can approve expenditure. You're aware of this.
Yeah.
Now, is there a limit or a ceiling that you, as the acting CEO at the time, you can approve without having a consent or approval from the council or mayor? And if it goes to or above a certain amount, it has to go to a higher authority, if you know what I mean. Does that exist in KMC when you served as acting CEO?
Well, during my time, it was a daily thing. We have to, you know, during our morning briefing with the mayor, you have to, you know, present it to him. You cannot even approve a butut without his knowledge. He has to, you know, approve all the spending. So there was nothing to say that I have a limit. All the payments.
Every individual that testified, that occupied the office of a CEO, almost everyone talks about that. The idea that the expenditure has to be run through the office of the mayor. But I want to understand your own experience. What was the procedure? I know you are just saying it right now, but it's not very clear. So if you have expenditure to do, how do you go about giving your authority? Who do you seek approval from and how do you do it?
Yeah, it's the mayor. As I said, each morning I'll carry my file with the activities that are planned for those days and with the payments that are to be made. And he will have to study all of them and approve which one we...
How does he give the approval? Is it verbal approval sometimes written approval, or... Yeah,
at times he just okay it. He just okay minutes on top of it, that this is okay. Yeah. But again, for me, it is okay for him if it is okay in line and okay for me. Yes, it's courtesy that every day I will have to go and present it. But provided that it is also okay and with me.
Now, who put in that measure?
Sorry?
Who placed that measure? Who?
Yeah, he placed it. He placed that when he came.
Were you authorized in writing to follow that procedure, or were you just communicated to
Yeah.
that you must follow this procedure?
No, not in writing.
Not
It
in
was-
writing.
Yeah.
But do you know that that would be against the law regarding going to the mayor's office every single day to okay every payment?
As I said, in my case, him being okaying the payment means that it's okay for me. It's courtesy. I will show it to him. If he okays it, when I'm also fine with it, we will obviously
No, I
proceed.
understand, but I'm just saying that every payment does not have to pass through the mayor. Let me read to you what the law says on page 19, section 305, authority for expenditure. The financial and accounting manual for local government area councils says that the authority to incur expenditure is vested in council through budget approval. The finance director shall not make any payment nor accept any charge in his accounts unless authorized by the chief executive and in accordance with the monetary thresholds approved by each council. As regard the monetary threshold, it should be noted that up to a given amount, the CEO can approve and incur expenditure without reference to the chairman or mayor of the council. Up to a certain amount, the CEO is required to consult and seek clearance from the chairman or mayor, and beyond a given amount, the CEO is required to require such expenditure to council to seek approval. But this was not followed. Everything is approved or okayed by the mayor.
Yes.
And that would be contrary to what the law says.
But that's how
Were you not familiar with this?
I was. But
Why-
as I said, each day we just go there. It doesn't mean that he will say that at all costs this will be paid. No, it depends.
On what?
It depends. If I find the thing right, then obviously we will go ahead and pay.
I
But like
understand.
those
I know-
Kanjora's thing, even if it is there, I don't pay.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I am not saying just because he says it's okay, you must pay, that is what you do as an individual, that you always pay without verifying. But it's not my point. My point is with regards to the procedure, that the mayor does not have the ultimate power to decide that every payment should be okay or not okay. There is a threshold that the law has outlined, which has to be
Yes.
strictly followed.
Because that is right, and I agree with you. In fact, whenever the Kanjora's requests are there, I don't approve it to the extent that, the mayor would say that I should stop being stubborn. But for me, that has nothing to do with stubbornness. And I want to state here that being positively stubborn has saved me from embarrassment or disgrace a day like today. I am not sitting here in shame, but rather with pride, knowing that I did the right thing at the right time, and I was always guided by my conscience. I wasn't stubborn, just unnecessarily.
Were there internal audit reports when you were present
No.
as CEO? Is
No.
there any reason why?
No, actually, I was just there for a couple of months.
Couple of months. How many months? 6?
6 or 5, because at least 1 month out of that, I was in China.
All right. Any questions for the witness?
No question.
Right. If we need you, we will call you back to help us in these investigations. Aside from that, that will be all for you for today.
All right, thank you.
Madam Njie, please endeavor to get your appointment letter. In the event that you don't have, please communicate with the registrar so that we can give you an order for them to produce copies for you.
All right,
Yes.
thank you.
All right?
Yes,
So
Madam
thank-
Chair, I just have one issue that escaped my mind. Yes, regarding the payment of the driver of the mayor that was proposed to be higher than the normal pay scale, and that was an issue in relation to the meetings. Do you recall this?
Sorry?
The payment of the driver of the mayor that he proposed.
Yes.
There was an issue regarding how much the driver of the mayor should be paid. Sorry, you
Yes.
realized that it was significantly higher
Than the normal list.
No, yes.
Yeah.
Can we please?
Yeah, but we
with the
decide-
permission of the chairperson, we have that evidence.
Yes.
Yes.
Granted.
If you may allow me to, after that, I just have one thing to
Okay,
add.
go ahead.
Yes, for that one, we said that we can't go outside the budget.
So
So
explain what happened first, and then tell us what.
Yes. As for the driver, I think, in fact, it's not I think, he was receiving a higher rate at the mayor's company. But we weren't paying that at council. So when he said that this is what this man has been receiving, we said that, well, unfortunately, this is what our budget, how to call it, that's what we have in our budget.
Who raised the issue of the payment?
I did.
No, who raised the issue that the driver should be paid that amount that was paid to him?
Yeah, obviously, it was the mayor.
Mayor.
Now, after he decided that then he will be giving the difference to the driver. But we maintained this thing. So another thing I want to state is about like the last straw that broke the camel's back regarding my living. As I said.
Before you get to that, let me read to you what you have in your statement. You said, page 3, last paragraph. Another concern to me, which I also raised during the meeting, was having to pay the new driver a salary that should commensurate with what the mayor was paying him as his personal or company's driver. And you had told the commission that it's the mayor who proposed that. And which was above what was paid to the former mayor's driver. I told the meeting that this was going to create bad blood amongst the drivers, and they will lodge complaint when they got to know, because some have been there for over 2 decades. Added to that, I also queried about having the appointment of the driver and the cleaner, which were not vacant in the second. So your position is the mayor proposed that what he was paying the driver should be the same amount that the driver should receive, and you said no to that, correct?
Yes.
That will create problem amongst the other drivers.
Yeah, it was going to create bad blood because we have drivers who were there for 20 years also. So if they are to receive, if this man just came in and have to receive more, and it's not based on merit, obviously I cannot answer that question because they will surely come back to me.
Thank you. Now you may proceed to what you...
Yes, what I wanted to say here is still with regards to Habib. I just want to make it very short. Because in fact, I can say that that was the last straw that broke the camel's back. That was like why I decided with my husband that I was going to leave on marital grounds. I was in China, as I earlier stated, on this Gambia government cooperation.
Yes.
And now, in my absence, I received a call from my deputy, Bakari Jawo. He told me that your secretary has been removed. I said, has he been found wanting? What has she done? She said, well, nothing, absolutely. I said, well, please hold on until I come back, then we can resolve this issue. When I came back, I called my deputy and asked him, I instructed him to write and redeploy that secretary, because I have serious reservations against that lady that they sent to me.
Yes.
And I knew that sooner or later it was going to, catch up with me, because I have served council for many years. And the issue is that lady was first sent to our school at Charles Jiao, and we received numerous complaints from the management of Charles Jiao that she has to be moved out of that place because of misconduct. Then she was brought in, and after some time she fought with a female councillor at the office of the then mayor. So that administration decided to dismiss him. But when this council came in 2018, they decided to reinstate her. She was reinstated and then placed at planning and development. Again, constant issues were coming up regarding misconduct. So when I came back, I knew that I wasn't comfortable having her as my secretary, and movement of secretaries, private secretaries, it should be confidential. So as a CEO, I think I should be allowed to have my own secretary. So, my secretary, the one I was having, was very good, well-mannered, well-behaved. So why would they change? And why would they not even allow me or even talk to me to say that we want to remove your secretary? So now, I said that I was not going to accept it. I asked my deputy to write. So when the lady was leaving that day, my deputy Bakari Jawa was right with me at my office. She opened the door and said, the CEO, I have received the letter of redeployment, I'm leaving. I said, okay, thank you very much, best of luck. 1 hour after the lady left, Habib walked into my office again, holding this paper, shouting, CEO, why did you ask this lady to leave? Why did you ask? I said, Habib, please calm down. What do you mean? He said that, in fact, you were the one who asked the lady, get out of my office, I don't want you. I said, why would I stoop so low as a CEO to do that? In fact, let me call my deputy, he was there. Immediately I said that, Habib placed called the lady and placed her on speaker for me to hear what the lady. The moment Habib told the lady that, what did the CEO told you? The lady started wailing, crying. She said that I should go out. She said that she doesn't need me there. I said, Habib, this lady has just fabricated lies. I swear to the Holy Quran, I never talked to this lady. In fact, this is the more reason why I am not comfortable having Fatou Sidibe as my secretary. And you said that you don't want to believe me? I called my deputy. My deputy said that was not true. I dragged Habib again to the front office because there was a door between the front office and the secretary. So obviously, if I had said anything to the secretary, they would have had. They said, no, Habib. I said, Habib, why would you want to believe her and not me? I never told her that. Then Habib said that, in fact, whether you like it or not, she's going to stay here. In fact, if you said that she's not going to stay here, it means you are going against council decision. I told Habib, so with all the issues being faced by this municipality, instead of you as a council meeting to find lasting solution to those problems, you are busy imposing a secretary for the CEO.
What was the structure you had at council in relation to appointments and redesignation of employees at the time you were there? Who had the authority to employ or redesignate?
Then there was no local government service commission.
Yes.
It will be the general council.
Yes.
It will be the establishment and appointment, but based on the recommendation of the CEO. So in this case, I was not even aware. So I told Habib that you should, then immediately I told him that they should be looking for, to look at strategizing and looking at the council problem that imposing. Then he brought in Kanjora's issue.
Now, I have the 2002 Local Government Act. In relation to Establishment Committee, the function says, Section 37, that the Establishment Committee shall, subject to this Act and any other amendment, be responsible for recommending to its Local Government Service Commission the appointment, dismissal, conditions of service, and dismissal of officers and other employees of its council and any matter connected therewith. So I don't think things start and stop at the level of the Establishment Committee. I stand to be corrected, I believe.
Yes, at that time, as I said, because there was no establishment, there was no Local Government Service Commission. Right. So, but again, it's based on the recommendation.
Yes.
As I said, when I told that to Habib, then he brought in Kanjora's issue that I am also rejecting Kanjora's proposal. So I said, Habib, why are you linking the two? He said, what I am doing to Kanjora was sabotage. I told Habib, if you are sincere and honest to the people who brought you in here, you should be applauding me now for rejecting these illegitimate payments. He walked out, and I went up to the mayor and reported exactly what Habib did. And the response from the mayor was that it is council decision and it should be respected. And I reminded the mayor that when he assumed office, he decided that all the support staff under the office of the mayor should be removed and redeployed elsewhere because he wasn't comfortable with that. I told him that you never gave them the opportunity to know them. You just drew the conclusion that they should be removed. They should be redeployed.
You mean all the staff that were working?
All the support staff, from the secretary to the driver to the orderly to the cleaner. I said we respected your decision, and then redeploy those people. And those people has worked with numerous mayors. And now here I am the CEO. You are allowing Habib and his team to impose a secretary who I have serious reservation against. He just kept mute and didn't say anything. That's the time that I walked back to my office. I said that, well, enough is enough. I think something unpleasant is brewing. Then I called my husband and told him exactly what I said here. And he told me that, you know what? From the look of things, it seems that something fishy is going on, and don't allow anyone to drag you into the mood. History will be kind to you. You did your best for this, for KMC. That was when I just wrote that letter and then sent the original to the ministry and then copies to others. So that was the last straw that broke the camel. So my decision at that time was, according to my husband, that I should go and join him where he is. But 6 weeks after I left KMC, I saw an opening on the papers from WANEP. So I tried my luck and I was lucky to get the job.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Madam Njie, as we said earlier, unless there are questions, we'll be done with you.
Thank you.
And we'll need you.
Thank you, Madam Njie.
Thank you.
Just like we said, do the follow-up for the documents that we have requested, and that will be all. So in case we need you to clarify certain issues for us, we will not hesitate to call you to come back and do that for us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
All right. Council, I'm just been informed that there are some issues outstanding that you need to be resolved. So we will rise for the day and we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you so much.